Louisiana. So we got them stacked and racked, race fans, for the first race of the night. 2x2x2, or 2x2, yeah. 6 cars, 6 laps the distance. Your flagman, Judge, you're in execution, waves the green flag in front of their face. Mr. Keith Parker, we're underway from the hill here on September the 30th, the final day in the month of September. It's not September. So the drop of the green flag, it's Uncle Freddie Blanchard out front with the race lead in B7. The Gashetta, Louisiana native, looking for his first ever victory here at Boothill, but it may come in the form of a trophy dash, so that's fine. But the driver is one of the most improved racers in the 2017 season. He gets better and better every time he sits behind the cockpit of that race car. The Canada Solutions number C1 of Chris Shaw opens up the door for Bamberg to make a charge of his inside. Comes up there a little bit short off the exit of 4 down the front boulevard into 1. Bamberg's getting a really good bite off the exit 2. Has to get up on the binders there and check the throttle from getting into the tail tank there. Oh, the C1 is 2. It'll be 2 laps to go for the Gashetta racer, Freddie Blanchard. Off of 4 with a white flag in front of his face for Gashetta, Louisiana's Uncle Freddie Blanchard. His first ever win at Boothill will come tonight as he rolls through 3 and off of turn number 4 for the final time. Out of Gashetta, Louisiana, we go to Uncle Freddie Blanchard, your trophy dash winner tonight. We'll get a quick word here with your trophy dash winner, Freddie Blanchard, here at ABC Auto Parts Victory Lane for the first time in his career. So when he climbs out, I'll give him a big round of applause, Boothill Speedway race fans. His nephew, the former runner-up here in the 10,000 to win inaugural King of the Hill event, is fired up for him. Got some feedback on that mic. I'll fix that here in just a second. Give it up for him, the Boothill. He's climbing out of the cockpit. Give it up for Uncle Freddie Blanchard. We'll let Freddie get the helmet off here, and we'll get a quick word with him. How about it, though, Freddie? I'm trying to keep talking to keep that feedback away here, but hey, how about it, man? First ever win here at Boothill comes in the form of a trophy dash, but I guess no better way to kick off the night here.
Yes, thank you.
How about it, man? It's got to fire you up, though, for the rest of the night.
Oh, yes. I'm ready to go now.
Hey, I tell you what, I tell all these folks how you've improved every single week. I mean, you haven't been racing for 3 years now, right? You've been in about it for about 2.5 or so?
This is 1.5.
1.5. All right, then I need to get my stuff together. Man, I tell you, you're looking really good out there. I believe you're going to cash in on a victory in a big way here pretty soon.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Tell us anybody that helps you out in the race car.
Oh, Cane River Financial, Blanchard Hauling, Gashetta Oil and Tire, Melissa Blanchard, my wife, my 2 boys, they got Alpha Kennels, and a host of other friends that help.
Absolutely. It's good to see your nephew fired up like that, too.
Yes.
Good job, man.
Thank you.
Give it up for Freddie Blanchard, ladies and gentlemen, your trophy dash winner tonight in the factory stocks. JRP Products number 28. Outsides the legend, the veteran, Paul Leedy out of 90 out of Northeast Louisiana, out of Jonesboro, Louisiana, rather. 6 cars, 8 laps. The first heat of the night here at Boothill Speedway is underway. It should be a great race from the front row here with Davidson, who won last Saturday at Arklatex, but Griggsy going to get the whole shot here at his home racetrack off of 2 down the back straightaway. 3 good hounds right there, your top 3. All feature race winners here this season. Davidson, your most recent winner here at our last event in 90, is here comes Guidry out of Marksville to the inside of him. Jody Davidson is driving that best engine power Western Flyer chassis hard as he can possibly do it. 3 different chassis brands occupy your top 3 right now as Davidson got loose there in the center of the corner and 3 and 4 makes contact with a K1. Nothing too significant. They get the cars ironback out, headed in the right direction as Grigsby setting a torrid pace out front. And that PTS powered number 69 Marshall Lubinato IRP chassis. The Marshall Missile looking awfully bad fast here at his home racetrack tonight after a few weeks of bad luck. Didn't have a Didn't have a bad showing at the Tootsie Smith last week, and I wasn't able to be there to see it, but I believe Grigsby did get a heat race win and had a top 5 performance. It'll be 4 in and 4 laps to go. The Marshall Missile out front, sending a tour pace in the JCD Auto Sales Marshall Lubinato. RaceOnTexas.com, number 69. Pushes up there off the exit of 2, and we got one going to the race lead. Marksville, Louisiana, Stephen Guidry going to go to the race lead. I'll tell you what, that's the fraction, that's the difference right there in between victory here at the Hill. You carry a lot of momentum around this racetrack, and one little bobble, one little mistake can be the difference in sitting on the pole or sitting on the outside of row number 2 in the main event later on tonight. And Grigsby cost himself one. Off the exit of 2, the car pushed up, and he would have rather given up a spot than stuffing that car into the wall. It could have been a lot worse. It'll be 2 laps to go, 6 scored in this 8-lap affair. As Guidry and that express chassis built by Shane Aber now centering the blistering pace around the quarter-mile speed line here in Greenwood, Louisiana tonight with the race lead in K1. He'll see the white flag in front of his face this time by from Keith Parker. Final time in a 1 and 2. He rolls it nicely. So an uncharacteristic mistake, but I think Grigsby's got a bad vibration in that 69. You can see a lot of mud coming out of it. He's shaking his teeth to the core. The K1 of Guidry wins heat number 1, followed by the Marshall Missile, Derek Grigsby in 69. Jody Davidson will grab 3rd. That was an outstanding run. How about it, race fans? From 4th to the win out of Marksville, Louisiana. Grew up watching his father, John Guidry, and the likes of Ronnie Adams get on the pole and goes to the tail. I believe that'll be Patrick Hinton in the 88 it is, and the JRP Products Hinton Motorsports IRP number 88. So 7 cars, 8 laps, lights are out. Rapid Roy, Aaron Roy takes the green. Roy was initially scheduled to start this race inside of row number 2. However, the 95 who drew the pole position elects to go to the tail, pushes up the inside row 2 starter, 35 to the pole as they go side by side, 3 wide rather, through the exit of corner number 4 as they head off into 1. Ricky Keller having to surrender a spot there, now getting pressured by the longtime point leader here at the Hill this season, the 22 Magnum of the Marshall Racer, Dylan Speer. Speer goes to 3rd. Right now, though, Cliff Tupper, ice in his veins, is feeling it tonight here at Boothill. He's all over the tail tank here of the 35 of Aaron Roy down the back straightaway for the race lead. Tupper's looking awfully good tonight as they go door to door. His son going to dispose of Ricky Keller there with a slight job through 3 and off of corner number 4. Back into 1. The 22 Magnum now feeling it. He'll go to the inside. 22, 23, door to door off the exit of turn number 2, down the back straightaway, side by side at the midpoint of the back chute into turn number 3. The 22 Magnum of Dylan Speer going to fire another bullet into turn number 3. No blanks for 22 Magnum. That'll push to 23. Way high, wide, handsome off before he'll smack the wall. I don't like that too much. The Western Flyer flies a little too high, wide, and handsome there off of 4 and has the concrete barrier straightening back out. And now the 22 Mag, ice in his veins, is filling it tonight. Here comes DeLeon. Speer. Throwing spears, firing bullets into 1. Rapid Roy, though, living up to his moniker. He's rapid fast right now. The Texarkana Emergency Center number 35 into turn number 3. That IRP chassis, a pair of IRPs running 1 and 2 right now. Jason Ingles down in Batesville, Arkansas, racing Mark Martin's Race for Hope 74. Or in Locust Grove, rather, tonight at the Batesville Motor Speedways. They're going to go side by side. Oh, and Dylan Speer nearly lost the handle. Nearly lost it. He just hit a little slick spot down there in a 1 and 2. Speer may have the best car on the racetrack. Ooh, boy. Smiley Wilburn came up limp there off the exit of corner number 4. Aaron, it'll be up to him to play a little cat and mouse. He'll get on the loud pedal now and get back underway. Good restart by Speer. He was ready to go. As well as Tupper. Cliff Tupper Jr. going to go to the outside here for 2nd. He's going to get a big run off the exit of 2. Watch this. Doesn't quite pan out, but he'll step to the outside of the Boothill Speedway and try to find some dig on the outside. Speer slides right up in front of his nose. White flags waving in front of the face of the Red Lick Texan, Aaron Roy, for the final trip around the speed plane here tonight. Tell you what, you can throw a blanket over your top 2. Here comes Speer for the final time. Father and son, door to door down the back straightaway for the final time into turn number 3. Side by side, son around the hub, dad up top. Off of 4, drag racing to the line. Cody's going to steal it from dad. Rather, the 160 of Wayne Barnes. So it'll be brothers starting there at the tail with Wayne and Mark. It's Hornaday and Beasley on the front row of this one, ready to smash the loud pedal. We're underway in Pro Mod Heat Race number 1. Jason Beasley out front with the race lead. About to have to settle the score between a pair of Vivian, Louisiana racers that Doug Vick Jr. has come from inside of row number 3 on this one from 5th to 2nd, and he's got the outside line of the hill working to his advantage off of 4. 4 running down 16. Just a matter of time before 16 gets a side view full of red 4 of Vick Jr., but a big bite there off the exit to do down the back straight for the 16 of Beasley, who's going to separate himself again into turn number 3. But rolling better through the center and 3 off of 4 is Vick Jr. with 2 to go. Can he get the job done? Beasley feels the pressure now. Can Doug Vick Jr. pull the rabbit out of the hat here? 2 distinct lines around the Boothill Speedway here in heat race number 1 for the Pro Mods. Going to be, like I said, between a pair of Vivian, Louisiana racers. Jason Beasley rolling the hub of the racetrack off the exit of 2 down the back straight of the car's digging. He could have left the left front at home. Into 3 for the final time. Vick Jr. going to sell it off into turns number 3 and 4 for the final time. He'll get a big run off the exit of corner number 4, but it's going to come up a little bit short. Vivian, Louisiana's Jason Beasley takes the win in 16. Doug Vick Jr. will grab the 2nd spot. In the 4 from 5th. Richard Holt, feature race winner here this season, comes home 3rd. Heat number 3 for the Pro Mods out on the racetrack. I was adjusting the sound settings there. Ronnie Long on the front row in the 27 alongside Benton, Louisiana's Bradley Barnes. The 22 out of Marshall, that'll be Robert Graham. The 27 feature race winner here 3 times this year. It's Mike Washburn. And the Architect Sheet Miller Welding number 27. Robbie Hickman at the tail in 39. Cornbread Bill Teague also in this one in 17. That's all your cars in this second heat for the Pro Mods into 1 and 2. Pro Mod Heat race number 2 of the night. I'm just really doing a sound test, going over some sound stuff here, so. A great battle for second. Inside of number 315 wins 2 years ago. And the Trey Maxwell Trucking number 4. That'll be Jeffrey Michigan. That's the rest of the lights are out. We're on our way. by side with the race lead off the exit of the corner before down the front straightaway. Cameron Pate going to take over the race lead at the flag stand. In the 1 and 2. Pate rolling the home of the race set off the exit of 2 down the back straightaway. Here comes Bechet in hot pursuit though. All the way to the tail take and the turn 3 for the race lead. Bechet going to fire a bullet to the inside for the top spot. Going around the exit of 4. Down the front boulevard, Cameron Pate going to hold on to the top spot. How about that? A little bit of throw back to Champion Park. 2 former hot stock aces at the CPS Speedway in Western Parish for many years. Down the back straightaway, Jeffrey Bechet going to get the door slammed shut on. Right in front of his face, and they'll have to get on the binders. How about this race, folks? Down the front straightaway into number 1. Bechet. He was all over the tail thing. He's smelling the gasoline 29C right now. And the 3. Bechet going to try the bottom off the exit of corner number 4. Pate took the left front, trying to leave it at home. Pate rolling right to the center, trying to find that strip of black and get back on the gas. He sets the car up to the midpoint in 1 and 2. Heads down the back straightaway in the 3. Randy Doe in the lap traffic up ahead in front of your leaders as they come. 1 side by side off of 4. 2 sticks in front of the face of your friend Keith Parker. 2 more chips. That was 1.5 laps to go to the back straightaway. Lap traffic going to play a factor. Passing got a premium here. Down the back straightaway. And then 1 lap to go as they come to the stripe this time by Jeffrey Bechet all over the tail taking the turn down. But he finally gets the job done. The fans go wild at Boothill. Jeffrey Bechet going to go to the race lead in the 4. Bechet takes over the top spot, but Pate not done. Pate not done yet. Down the back straightaway with a final time in the turn number 3. He'll go to the high side in the 3 and 4. And he'll hit it down to the bottom. But no, be enough. Jeffrey Bechet takes the dub in 4. And they go to the race. And put him on heat race number 3. Michael Josie going to be able to pull a factory stock heat race number 1 alongside the laser chassis number 5 from Princeton, Louisiana, Paul Lopez. Yep, Ricky Wheat I assumed would be in the 32R, and that was... Here comes the 492 of Billy Grider from Houghton, Louisiana to the outside of the hill. He'll get a big bite down the front straightaway. The 492 started 4th. He's up to 2nd. The 2015 Louisiana State Dirt Track Champion. They're going to 3 wide off the exit of 2 down the back straightaway. The Styles Automotive Knighton Motorsports number 96. Racing with a heavy heart tonight in memory of Mr. Billy Robinson. It'll be the Nightmare Michael Knighton. As many racers are here racing with a heavy heart tonight. Michael Knighton up to 4th now. From the tail. From dead last to 4th for Knighton. How many go to the A3? Okay. Top 3 transfer to the main event tonight. As they roll to the center off of corner number 4. Out front with the race lead is Princeton, Louisiana's Paul Lopez. Over the 492 of Billy Grider, who just made his debut here 1 month ago. Billy Grider in 492, trying to hold on to the bridesmaids in this one. He slips up off the exit of 2, a little bit of a bobble, opens up the door for the Louisiana State Dirt Track Championship winner in 2015. He'll go to 2nd. It's Cody Tupper. Tupper now to 2nd. The 96 of Nightmare, Michael Knighton, will go by as well to 3rd. From the tail to 3rd for Knighton. Knighton wants 1 more. He'd like to see a caution because he may have the best car on the racetrack right now, but he's going to run out of time. Tick-tock goes the race clock. Sanding the hourglass is ticking away for 96 and 23 to get out front and challenge at 5 of Lopez. As it'll be 3 laps to go this time. 3 to go. 96 takes over 2nd. I tell you, it's very indicative 96 is racing with a little bit of added momentum tonight. That 96 car is rolling around the Boothill Speedway, and as it typically is, he's just had a lot of bad luck. The results do not show for his good performances here all season long. As he goes way high wide, handsome off the 4 and loses 2. The 23 and the 11R Prince go by. The Walmart Special backfires in front of the face of the 96 at night, but he goes over the racetrack and gets a big bite off the exit of 2. They go back to the inside to try for 3rd. They're door-to-door in the turn number 3. Prince and Knighton side by side. The white flag waves in front of Lopez for the final trip around the quarter-mile speed plant. Into 1. Tupper now back to 2nd and 23. The 11R of Rance Prince drifts up way high wide there off the exit of 2. Nearly makes contact with the 96 of Knighton as they hit in the 3 and 4 for the final time. How about it for Princeton, Louisiana's Paul Lopez, who wins this one by half of a straightaway. Cody Tupper will grab 2nd. Drag racing to the line, the 96, and Knighton will grab 3rd. So Knighton The two-time 67 Speedway track champion of the Outlaw Chassis, best engine power number 38 Central, hitting an air engine. That'll be Mighty Mike Wells inside of 3 from Vivian. The 2, the KTI Bodies entry of Jeff Rice. It's Glenn Lindsay in 27L. Stephen Manberger to the NTU, and the driver who bought Jeff Lewis's number 40 is Randy Cox. In the 1 and 2, they're going to go side by side for the race lead down the back straight. They're 2x2x2 on the opening lap into turn number 3. It's going to be the Bossier City Racers and teammates. The Bossier City Outlaws is a little bit of contact there for second. Myers got the door slammed shut in front of his face there in 55 as they head off into 1. I'll get on this race real quick. Best friends go at it for the race lead in heat race number 2 for the factory stocks presented by R&R Timbers. The 55 of Myers, who's won a race at Arklatex this season, and he's won one here at the Hill. Little John Tuggle now picking up some steam here to the end of the 2017 season. The caution's going to wave. But Cody Myers has been on a rail since he dropped this car on the racetrack for the first time about 3 or 4 months ago. And he races sparingly, but when he does, he makes it count. And off and forward, the lights are out, we're backing away. How long before the 55 may get up there and challenge his good friend Little John for the race lead again? Little John wasn't having anything of it. You better be sorry. 4 in, 4 laps to go, and here comes Myers. Cody's got the tip top of the racing surface working to his advantage down the back straight of the pair of white and lime green letter. 175 and 55 is going to go at it. Bossier City, Louisiana, 1 and 2 right now with Kashana's Brian Shaver back in third. Here comes the fast coon-ass James Martin. Here comes big sexy Glenn Lindsay. Glenn Lindsay up to 5th in L27. Or rather, 27L. Oh, Myers going to catch the bad luck biscuit. Tough break for Cody Myers. So Tuggle will now no longer feel pressure for the top spot in this one, as he has a comfortable advantage out front in 175. Tough break for Cody Myers in this one. Cheyenne Russell in 29. Chris Shaw, the lights are out. How about Josh Warren there inside of row number 2? Just won the Fall Southern Showdown at Manning. They're already going to try to go 3 wide for the race lead off the exit of 4 down the front straightaway. On the opening lap into turn number 1, Logan Hughes throws a 1H into 1 and 2. The 62X did a great job to avoid a disaster. He never got off the loud pedal there. Nobody else stopped except for 1H. He broke and was just happy to be able to come back and challenge past Bubba Jones on the final lap, coming to the checkered flag. As the 43J of BJ Cook will be alongside. The lights go out. We're green here at Boothill. Good start for the Carnac Texan Travis Bowden to go to the infield here on the start. The 60UX of Josh Warren has the race leads at 1x2. By 1, off and down the back straightaway. Sean Graham trouble will go around the 43J of Cook for second. Graham wants the bridesmaids. The trunk lid flying in the air for your race leader of the 60UX of Warren. Down the front boulevard, he'll lead lap number 1. After the original restart, 60UX of Warren will lead lap number 1. Josh Warren has raced here several times this year, does have a win here this season, won here twice a season ago. Vic Jr. was the winningest factory stock driver here a year ago with 4 victories as the yellow flag waves for the Carnac Texan Travis Bowden. May not be the answer at quarterback. Bye-bye Leonard Fournette. So that's that. This is it. We're at the Hill. Let's go racing. Josh Warren out front with the race lead in 62X. Lights out. We're backing away with Josh Warren out front with the race lead. Sean Graham continues to hold on to the second spot in this one down the back straightaway. In command in front of the 43J of Cook, who still holds on to third. He drives it in deep. Has to get on the binders. The 24 in tow. Bo Perry up to 4th. Logan Hughes back on the march, trying to get his way back up to the front where he started in this one. Into 1 and 2. 2 more trips around the speed plant for Josh Warren. Out of Shreveport, Louisiana, who's setting a tour pace with a straightaway advantage out front of the race lead on this one at 62X. Sean Graham in second will transfer to the main event. He can hold off for 1 more lap. Final trip around the racetrack. The white flag waving. All the 2 headed down the back straightaway for the final time in the turn number 3. In a stellar performance. Restarted on the original restart from the pole position, and he checks out, throws the key on the counter. The 62X of Josh Horn, your winner of factory stock heat race number 3. Followed by Trouble Sean Graham. So Bear Perry will be on the front row of a B-main later on tonight. Grabbing second, driving the Barton Glass Cook and Board 43J, that'll be B.J. Cook. Driving the Hawkins Motorsports Wendy's number 17, that'll be Trouble Sean Graham. Taking the win out of Shreveport, driving the Ballard Enterprises, Dykes Oil Service, Green Acres Automotive, Stonewall Transmission, 62X, it'll be Josh Warren from Shreveport, your winner in 62X. On the pole of 44T, making his first start here at the Ryan Burke. And the number 27 Ford-powered entry outside is Cameron Furr. The lights are out, we're underway here at Boothill. And a wild start in this one. Mike Hudson trying to get underneath the 44T. He drives it in deep to the inside there. Makes contact with the left rear quarter of the 33 of Graham. And that sends the rest of the field behind him, all kinds of cattywampus. And Ryan Burke takes advantage. He drives that car deep into turn number 3. Ryan Burke going to go to third, and Canizero through the infield. Frank the Tank. Frank slings it back off into 1 and 2, goes to the inside of Cameron Furr here for the 5th spot down the back straightaway. That's the best battle on the racetrack right now. Canizero down on the hub of the racetrack. Frank the Tank to the inside of the winner at Rose Bowl Speedway last Saturday night of Cameron Furr. The 17-year-old is the battle for second now. Here comes Burke. Ryan Burke, who won that 34 JR Ford-powered entry here 1 month ago, gets the call this week from Calhoun, Louisiana, Scotty Case to drive this Ford-powered J27. I said, Ryan, we talked about this a couple days ago in person. I said, man, I don't think you would have got this opportunity had you not won that other Ford car. Well, kind of outliers, if you will. Something about these Ford drivers, boy, they're a clique. And Case gives him a call, and he's going to have to hunt down Vic Jr. in this one. I tell you what, Ryan Burke's feeling it tonight. Ryan may have the best car on the racetrack right now. As I say, tick-tock goes the racing clock. Down the back straightaway, Hudson's going to take over the 3rd and final transfer spot into turn number 3. This time, it'll be 3 laps to go. Doug Vic Jr. out front sitting at Torrey Pace will approach lap traffic to the 38 special of Blaine Smith here in the 1 and 2. Vic Jr. around the hub. He'll get right by the lap traffic. No harm for him. Burke will have to slide down the hub of the racetrack here to get around the 38 special as well. Into turn number 3. Ryan Burke very impressive tonight in this car. He's never driven in his racing career. As has been the case for the majority of his career. He can show up and show out in anything that has 4 wheels and a gas pedal. Down the back straightaway. So a pair of drivers who are very well established in this division and have been since it began in the early or mid 2000s. Out front 1 and 2 right now. It was these 2 guys who were oftentimes the guys that I'm meeting. Victor Lane and Vivian are right here at Boothill. Burke sat out of the cockpit for 3.5 years, came back and won a race quick. As the checkers are going to wait for Vic Jr. out of Vivian in the 4, followed by Ryan Burke out of Keithville. And Scotty Case is number 27. And the final transferee will be the 199 of Michael Hudson. Your front-wheel drive 4-cylinder heat race, it'll be the 32 of Luke Wheat. Outside's Miss Triple X, the reigning Louisiana State Dirt Track Champion, Brittany Shireen. Inside of row number 2 will be the 8 of Ben Smiley. Outside, the 6 of Stephen Harris. Oh, Tiffany Welch tonight. Tiffany Welch in the 6. And your winner in our last event in the 3 just drove it. Oh, my God. Door slam Tiffany Welch there in the 1 and 2. Your winner at our last event, who was very conservative in his approach to that race, who was running 3rd down the back straightaway on the final lap, took advantage of the top 2 cars tangling together.
This is man deal for pro model. You got hats. Yeah, this.
The caution flag is going to wave here with Bad Luck striking, and that's unfortunate. It'll be Luke Waite with the lights out to get this one back underway. Keep your eyes on the young lady out of Redwater, the 18-year-old. Ashton Owens in this one in the THR1 Body and Fabrication F1 number 5. Owens going to stock the back bumper to the 32L of Luke Waite here for the race lead. Down the back straightaway, we're back underway in your front-wheel drive 4-cylinder heat race number 1 here from the hill. 50% of this one complete as Wheat still leads in the Hadaway towing number 32 into 1. Two laps to go here for Lucas Wheat in 32L. Ashton Owens, who, well, we get a caution. Some things just sound good. Here comes the young lady out of Redwater, Texas, Ashton Owens, trying to find something and get this heat race win here as we close it down. A one more quarter-mile trip around the racetrack here. Down the front boulevard for the 32L of Luke Wheat. Luke Wheat going to get pressured here on the final trip off of 2 down the back straightaway by the young lady out of Redwater, Texas. Ashton Owens going to come up a little bit short here for the final time in the turn number 3. She'll drive it deep into turn number 3. Trying to find some dig off of quarter number 4, but she'll come up short. The 32 of Luke Wheat gets the dub over the 5 of Ashton Owens.
We're running these before the light comes.
John Lafitte's in 29. And Bill Cornbread Teague in the 88. How about that? Cornbread and a front-wheel drive. That's a Honda Accord. Collier out front with the race lead here on the opening lap in the 14. That Ford's got some focus. He heads off into 1 of the 14 with a sizable advantage over the rest of his competitors in this one.
The Tiffany will not make it out.
Tiffany Welch holding on the second, pushes up the racetrack, opens up the door for Lafitte to go to the inside, and he'll grab the second spot there at the flag stand of the 29. Tiffany Welch slowing just a little bit here. She'll get pressure from the inside of Jesse Tate. Tate will now go to 3rd. Welch back to 4th. She better drink her grapefruit juice because the car's losing a little bit here as here comes Cornbread. Tiffany Welch and Cornbread. Down the back straight, side by side there. Cornbread, make a little bit of contact there. A little bit of a slight rub there. John Lafitte is still in the second spot here on the final lap, being pressured by Jesse Tate. But the final time coming to the checkered flag, your point leader here this season, and looking to be the track champion for Chris Collier. He'll take your heat race win in heat number 2, followed by the 29 of John Lafitte. 13J of Tate will grab 3rd. Bill Teague. Outside, the 4-time Super Late Model champion from Alexandria, Louisiana, it'll be Rocket Rob Litton.
Rob Litton is blue, Kyle Pleasant is...
And it'll be Jim, is that Jim Bryant? Yep. Lights are out. We're underway from Boot Hill. Opening lap here in Super Late Model Heat Race. Off down the back straight, a limited contact or a little slight rub there between the 0-1 of B.J. Robinson. Billy Robinson Jr. now going to try to go to the inside for the race lead. Billy Robinson Jr. racing with a heavy heart tonight in memory of his father, Billy Robinson. We tragically lost last week. We go to the inside of the King of Boot Hill, Ronnie Adams for the race lead. Off the 2 down the back straight away into turn number 3. B.J. Robinson jumping that David Peterson Motorsports, Olin Shocks and Springs, Stealth Carburetors 0-1 to the inside of Ronnie Adams. This will put the Boothill Speedway race fans in a tough spot. Trying to cheer on Ronnie Adams and cheering on the driver who's racing with a heavy heart, who's a big fan favorite as well, as they go side by side with the race lead in turn number 3. Super Late Models putting on a show at Boot Hill in the first 2 circuits. Off of 4, the fans cheering on B.J. Robinson. He'll get around the driver who has over 300 career wins here, Ronnie Adams. Ronnie Adams was a good friend of Billy Robinson's as well, as he hit down the back straightaway. B.J. Robinson, he is on it tonight, baby. Into turn number 3, giving me chill bumps all up and down my spine. Off of turn number 4, 0-1 to the race lead here at Boot Hill, where it typically found its place on each and every Saturday night. He'll slam it off into turn number 1, that Black Diamond chassis. Clements powered 0-1 down the back straightaway. David Peterson Motorsports entry 0-1 with the race lead. Ronnie Adams not giving up on him. Here comes the 6X, a rocket. Rob Litton. Rob Litton gonna fire one into 3 and off of 4 down the front straightaway to the tail tank of the 11A of Ronnie Adams. Ronnie Adams not giving up the ghost here though. Down the back straightaway now B.J. Robinson is starting to separate himself, using lessons learned from his father here tonight. Off of 4 down the front straightaway, B.J. Robinson, the reigning Southern Non-Professional Racing Series champion, is outstanding tonight. He has separated himself, and it looks like the driver is going to look to get here for the second time in the victory lane, AC Auto Parts victory lane for the second time this season, as he won here back on February the 25th, your Winter Nationals champion in the Pro Mods, after he drove his father Billy 0-1 Pro Mod here, like I said, back on February the 25th. It'll be 2 laps to go. Show from Keith Parker this time as B.J. Robinson throwing the keys on the counter. He's checking out of the Holiday Inn. In the turn number 1, it'll be 1.5 laps to go when B.J. Robinson meets the midpoint of the back straightaway. What a torrid, blistering pace for this driver. Out of Blanchard, or now out of Houghton, Louisiana, in the Billy's AC, DP Motorsports, Olin Shocks and Springs, Stealth Carbureted 0-1. The fans are going to go nuts. Off of turn number 4, your winner, jumping the Billy's AC 0-1. Give it up for B.J. Robinson. Race fans, that doesn't put you in a tough spot, does it? Get up on your feet, Boot Hill. Give it up for your Super Late Model Heat Race winner with a stellar performance. Give it up for B.J. Robinson. Wow. Brett Frazier.
Yes, here he is. Here's Orange.
And the Catman, John Mitchell, driving the Healthcare Express number 5. Black Diamond, off and 4, we're underway here from the hill. Underway here at Boothill Speedway in heat race number 2 for the Super Dirt Late Models. Off of 4, it'll be the 115 of Trey Bean from Bossier City, Louisiana, out front with the race lead. Trey Bean out front, sitting at torrid pace. John Mitchell will get around the 91 of Donald Watson for 3rd. Here comes the Catman, driving in deep to the inside of the 3 and off of 4. The Healthcare Express, WW Timber, Kaiser Manufacturing, Kendall's High Performance, Integra Shocks and Springs number 5. Just a matter of time for the Jet. Brett Frazier fires. And he'll set his sights to the tail tank of the 115 of Trey Bean, who has the race lead in 115. Off of 2, or off of 4 rather, down the front straightaway. Here comes the Jet. Oh, baby, Brett Frazier's firing. He's firing good now. But John Mitchell going to try to pull there as well. Here comes the Catman. John Mitchell, who won his first ever Super Late Model race here back on March the 17th of 2001. Going to the inside. He'll grab 2nd now. John Mitchell in hot pursuit, trying to go to the race lead here. He'll set it to the outside of the Boothill Speedway. He'll grab some cush there off the exit of 2 and find some bite. He gets the dig he wants. Into 3, here comes the Catman. He'll pounce, he'll claw, he'll fight, he'll scratch, he'll go to the race lead. John Mitchell going to take over the top spot at the flag stand behind the Cat's Whisker. Yeah, baby, the Catman's filling it tonight. John Mitchell, who was at Deer Creek, Minnesota, and Spring Valley, Minnesota last Saturday night, was a non-qualified race with the United States Modified Touring Series, who does have a USNTS win this season. Very versatile, diverse driver out of Texarkana, Texas. He has the race lead in the WW number 5. John Mitchell is rowing and rocking around the Boothill Speedway tonight. He's feeling it and feeling good. John Mitchell out front with the race lead here as we wind down the racing. Tick-tock goes the race clock into turn number 1. John Mitchell is bad, blistering fast tonight. It's going to come down to him and B.J. Robinson, most likely for the main event win tonight, I imagine. I wouldn't count out Ronnie Adams either, or Brett Frazier. Frazier still runs third in this one. It's 2 to go. So my phone died. That's not fun. Oh, and Donald Watson nearly lost it there on the last lap. And the white flag waving for the Catman, John Mitchell. I'll film that race for Miss Kathy. Yeah, well, they get it over quick, don't they? Your winner of heat race number 2, the super late models for the R&R Timber, go to the Catman, John Mitchell. For C1, that'll be Chris Shaw. Michael Josie in the 228 inside of row number 4. Outside will be the Karnak Texan. Jumping the WCH powered bootlegger chassis number 11 of Travis Bowden. Top 4 to the main event. Lights are out. We're underway from the hill. B-mate number 1 for the factory stocks is underway off of 2. They're side by side with the race lead. Bo Perry going to get the whole shot. They're 2 by 2. Down the back straightaway in the turn number 3. Logan Hughes right there as well. Throw a blanket over your top 5 right now on the opening lap. Grider going to grab some cush off of 4. And that red 492 and go to the 4th. Down the front straightaway. Separate himself from the young man in the 1H. Logan Hughes, after spinning from the front row in his heat race earlier, has looked awfully impressive since that time. Battled to grab a 4th place spot in his heat earlier. As it'll be Bo Perry out front with the race lead off of 4 down the front straightaway into turn number 1. So it's going to be Bo Perry out front with the race lead over the 11R of Rance Prince, Michael Hale on H93, the 492 of Billy Grider. Keep your eyes on the 11 from Karnak of Travis Bowden. We're back underway. Smith in the 38 Special. Kate Galen in 27. That's Uncle Freddie Blanchard outside of row number 3, your Trophy Dash winner tonight. Lights are out, we're underway. Oh, some contact there on your race leader. The NTU living up to his moniker. The lights go out. Driver's getting ready to punch the time clock and go back to work. We're back underway here at Boothill, the B-main number 2 on an original restart for the second try. Now you go 3 different lanes wide here for the race leader, 3 wide into 1 and 2. This will be Robert Graham Sr. way up top. On the hubs, the 2 from Vivian, Louisiana, it's Jeff Rice. Freddie Blanchard ready to throw his hat into the ring and become a player now. Your top 3, all still 3 wide here. Lindsay, the meat and the bun off of turn number 4 in the L27. Down the front straightaway, Rice, and here comes Freddie. Freddie feeling it tonight, baby. Into 1, there's still 3 wide for the race lead. Off the exit of turn number 2, down the back straightaway, plenty of room, plenty of lanes to race here at the hill. Robert Graham Sr. in the 33 Seekers Roofing entry out of Marshall, Texas, has the race lead in 33 off of turn number 4 with 3 complete. 7 laps to go into turn number 1. Jeff Rice now going to fire one to the inside of the 27L. Glenn Lindsay. Lindsay feels the pressure. You could throw a quilt right now over 2nd through 5th. Bamberg trying to come back. Oh, and Old nearly makes a contact there with the B7 of Freddie Blanchard. Thought that was about to get ugly. Blanchard and Lindsay make some contact. All before down the front straightaway at the midpoint. Messes the B7's entry up into corner number 1, but still continues to hold on to the 4 spot and slams the door shut on the NTU of Stephen Bamberg, and he just knocked the rear end out of the NTU car. Yeah, I think he broke a rear end. Robert Graham still out front with the race lead in your B-main number 2 for the factory stocks. In the number 33, it's Robert Graham Sr. Robert Graham Jr., of course, drives the number 22 Pro Mod. The senior's looking pretty good tonight. Jeff Rice sitting to the outside. He'll catch some cushion there off of 4 and finds a bite, trying to hunt down your race leader here, but he's in a transfer position with Freddie Blanchard in hot pursuit sitting in 3rd. Glenn Lindsay's in 4th and 27L. Only 1.5 laps to go, and Graham meets the midpoint of the back straightaway. He's slowing down fast. Don't know. It looks like the 33 may have been losing some. Looked like he may have been braking there down the back straightaway. The car's definitely slowed up quite a bit here on the white flag lap. Final trip into turn number 1, and the 2 is going to slide him into 1 and 2 and just drift right in front of his nose there. And the B7 of Freddie Blanchard is going to take advantage and go to 2nd as well. Final time down the back straightaway. Lindsay wants a piece of the pie. Into turn number 3 for the final time, and off of 4, your winner going to go to Vivian, Louisiana's Jeff Rice in 2. Clock, smash the loud pedal and go to work off of turn number 4. Imagine for 20 laps of distance. It's going to be Marksville, Louisiana, Stephen Guidry in his express chassis to smash the loud pedal. We're underway. He had a great start on that one. A great start for Stephen Guidry. Into 1. Some contact there with the 22 Magnum 35 of Roy. As sliding him in front of the 35 is the Marshall Missile. Derek Grigsby hold on to the bridesmaids in this one on the opening lap. The 35 went way up top, jumps the cush. as well as Grigsby. Grigsby got really loose there, and Jody Davidson going to capitalize and get 2 spots for the price of 1. The Walmart special for the West Monroe, Louisiana native Jody D. Davidson won our most recent limited race, and Grigsby is all kinds of out of sorts here on the opening 2 laps, the 69 car. It's fast enough to keep out front of these guys that are hunting him hard here. It's allowing Stephen Gidry to separate himself with a race lead with a nice sizable advantage here on the opening couple of circuits. Off of 2 down the back straightaway. Grigsby trying to fend off last weekend's $2,000 winner at Untitled Speedway for the 7th annual Tootsie Smith Memorial. Here comes Davidson to the inside. Trying to fire a bullet there off of 4 down the front straightaway in his Western Flyer chassis. Built by Curtis Allen and Randy Timms out of Wheatland, Oklahoma. Jody Davidson, former Open Wheel modified ace, has showed that he is one to deal with in this class week in and week out, and Tupper could not get the car to the infield and will get caught. Hope that thing has a lot more support next year. As here at Boot Hill in Louisiana tonight, it's going to be Marksville, Louisiana, Stephen Gidry out front with a race lead. How about it? Louisiana natives run 1 and 2 right now over a pair of East Texas, and a Marshall, and around goes the 90. Jody Davidson lost the handle in a 1 and 2, and he never came to a complete stop, and he'll try to keep it strolling and rolling. He was hoping somebody behind him lost it too, and he'll bring out the caution now. Speedway for 20 grand. 3 laps complete. Gidry still out front with a race lead, and his Express chassis a pair of IRPs 2, 3, and 4 right now. Heading into the big 10,000 win Southern Nationals race in Waco, Derek Grigsby had won that final race before heading out to Waco, and he had said that he still wasn't too happy with the race car. Went into Waco, Grigsby did not have the performance that he was looking for that weekend on Thursday night, didn't even get to make a lap, as well as the longtime Boothill Speedway point leader this season is Dylan Speer. Equal bad luck for both of those guys the last several weeks. You can kind of tell maybe what Grigsby is getting at. The car just not quite getting around this racetrack as he's accustomed to. It's not by any means bad, maybe to his standards. Maybe the car's starting to come to him now. Grigsby still rides in a comfortable second spot here over the 35 of Aaron Roy out of Red Lake, Texas. Dylan Speer out of Marshall up top. Battling door-to-door here with the Western Flyer number 23 of Cliff Tupper Jr. Cliff Tupper's having a good run tonight. Behind them is the veteran racer out of Jonesboro, Louisiana, Paul Leedy in the 90. Aaron Green in the 90 of Jody Davidson. Davidson's already passed 3 cars on the restart, trying to get 4 and work his way back up towards the front. Down the back straightaway. I don't believe anybody has anything for the K1 tonight. May need another caution for Grigsby or the 35 of Roy to fire something and do anything with the Marksville, Louisiana racer. As the 23-year-old tonight is feeling it and feeling good. Said his girlfriend's brother threw the dice down the hill earlier for him and got the number 1 on the invert. And the caution's going to wave for the 3rd time in this main event.
Oh, yeah, because you have that waiting.
A great restart by the Marshall Texan. Not Grigsby, but it's Dylan Speer this time. The 22 Magnum's firing all bullets, no blanks right now. I think he has something for Gidry. He says, I'm going to live or die by the cushion tonight as we're 50% completed in this one, 50% to go. And Spear's filling it now on the outside of the hill. He's going to grab some cushion in a 1 and 2, smash the loud pedal. And he's about to throw out the pole, and he's going to try to snatch the K1's tail tank and reel him to him. I don't know if it's going to happen as he drifts way high, wide, and handsome there through 3 and off of 4. A long way that this driver has come in just 5 years in his racing career. Dylan Speer, now a full-time limited modified competitor, began his racing career and got his first win here back in June of 2014. Dylan Speer out of Marshall, Texas, is feeling it tonight. And I tell you what, how about this driver who's up to 5th now? Started dead last in this race. The Genoa, Arkansas, 19-year-old Aaron Green is up to 5th, and he is finally, I don't want to say finally because he's only in his 6th career start in this division, but he is really starting to feel something in his only 2nd start here in a limited modified at Boothill Speedway. He had never even raced here prior to the 7,000 win King of the Hill event in his factory stock. So that young man is doing a hell of a job tonight in the number 15 IRP. Grigsby is reeled back in Speer for second. And Jody Davidson, how about that? The fly in the ointment. He's up to fourth in the 90 after having to restart at the tail as well 2 cautions ago. Jody Davidson back up to the 4th spot in the 90. And that Bessinia-powered Western Flyer as the pair of IRPs go side by side here for second off the exit of 2 down the back straightaway. It'll be 2 laps to go this time by for Stephen Guidry. No mistake. It's 3 to go this time by, I believe. This time by, it'll be 2 laps to go for Marksville, Louisiana, Stephen Guidry. And dominant performance tonight. Final time. Down the back straightaway in the turn number 3. They will receive the white flag in front of his face this time by the driver of the Express Chassis State Farm Insurance number K1. Looking for his second win at Boothill in the 2017 season. He'll head down the back straightaway into 1 and 2 for the final. In the 3 and 4 for the final time. It's going to be our Express Chassis tonight at Boothill Speedway. Stephen Guidry going to win your limited modified A main event. Speer will hold off Grigsby for a second. I don't think Steven knows how bad of a tail kicking that was. Just took all of his competitors straight to the woodshed on that one. Toby, be careful. Well, he had his girlfriend's younger brother throw the dice down the hill earlier and redrew him a nice number 1. The driver of the River Runs Dirt Service Paul Davis Restoration. 41 Shocks K1 Contractors number K1. Give it up for Stephen Guidry out of Marksville, Louisiana. I'll let Stephen get the head, neck restraint, and helmet off. It'd be kind of tough to talk in that thing, but we just talked here underneath the flags earlier about what a great year it's been, and obviously wanted to grab another win here this year. How about it, Stephen? I kind of told the race fans on the way down here, I don't think you even know how bad of a tail whooping that was. You had Grigsby, some hungry hounds behind you, Dylan Speer. The list goes on and on, man. Some very, very well-talented drivers, man. You put about nearly a whole straightaway on them there after a few cautions.
Hey, with this group here, you got to keep digging. You can't take a lap off around this place.
What does this mean to win here kind of with Ronnie in the pits tonight where he can maybe, be looking on and see it? I mean, it's pretty cool, huh? Your second career win here.
Oh, very. I mean, after my daddy passed away, Mr. Ronnie become my father figure, and it means a lot for him to be here tonight. We don't get to race on the same night very often anymore, but it's very special, especially with him in the pits.
It's very cool, man. I appreciate you sharing that with us. How about it? Second win of the year, and I know you want to get a Louisiana State Dirt Track Championship. You got a few more races till then. This has definitely got to give you some confidence heading forward.
Oh, very much so. Like you said, we'd love to take the state championship down back to Central Louisiana, but like you said, it's not over yet. We got to get to that night before we can worry about taking that home.
It's something you've really enjoyed this year. You travel a pretty good distance to race here every week, but I mean, you've certainly got to be looking forward to coming here to the hill every week.
Oh, it's by far the saying, if you want to race, the hill is the place. That it lives up to that motto.
Absolutely, man. Hey, I want to give you an opportunity to thank all the folks that help you out in your racing team.
First of all, I got to thank my crew, Mrs. Terrence Johnson, my mom, Liz Domite, my girlfriend, Erica. If it wasn't for them, I don't know if I could do this by myself. They give me incredible equipment to work with, and I got the easy part. I just drive it. You got to thank River Runs Dirt Service, KG Sandblasting and Painting, Petrie Race Engines, K1 Contractors, Paul Davis Restoration, 41 Shocks. He builds a heck of a shock package. JCR Components, J&J Motorsports, TCC carburetors.
Great job tonight, Stephen. Well overdue victory for you, man.
Very much so. Thank you. Thank y'all for coming out.
Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen, of Marksville, Louisiana, Stephen Guidry back in ABC Auto Parts Victory Lane. And here comes B.J. Robinson. I was waiting on him. In the midst of man formation of the late great legend Billy Robinson, in a tribute to his class, BJ won the very first race this season, the Winter Nationals, driving that 01 Pro Mod, and he's going to go out here and pace the field. I'm gonna let this moment speak for itself, race fans. This is to the great Mr. Billy Robinson. Inside of row number 4, rather. Outside of row number 4 will be Robert Graham Jr. out of Marshall, Texas. The lights are going to go out. 20 laps. It is your Pro Mod main event tonight here at Boot Hill is underway. Backing away in your Pro Mod A main event here at Boot Hill. Bradley Barnes got a little heavy on the right side there off the exit of turn number 2. And then he just got real heavy there in 3 and 4 and loved it right in front of the field. Lights are back out. Ready to punch the time clock and go to work is Doug Vick Jr., race leader out of Vivian, Louisiana. We're back underway. A pair of 4s run 1 and 2. Mike Washburn. I tell you what, cream of the crop has risen to the top right now. Oh, and not a good start for the 16 of Beasley. Look out, everybody else. He'll head to the Heartbreak Hotel. One drifts to the infield. Oh, my goodness, and the caution flag immediately back out. We got one around at, as well as you are, Bubba McEachern. As Doug Vick Jr. going to smash the loud pedal. We're back on our way off of 4. The 4s are 1 and 2 right now. Mike Washburn, you better keep your eyes on 27. Mike Washburn's been arguably one of the best Pro Mod drivers, and around goes Richard Holt. We have a caution. So we're looking to get some green flag laps logged into the history books here as Doug Vick Jr. still out front with the race lead. Surrepta Louisiana's Jeffrey Bechet in tow. Keep your eyes on Shreveport's Mike Washburn. Louisiana 1, 2, 3, and 4. As Cameron Pate going to throw his hat into the ring here at the hub of the racetrack, and he wants a piece of the 27 of Washburn. They're 30 wide down the back straight to the midpoint. The 22 of Marshall's Robert Graham trying to fend off a charge on the 515 of Trent Humphrey, as well as Adam Stevens out of Wascom. So finally getting a green flag lap logged into the history books here. Cross your fingers and toes, we can keep this one strolling and rolling around the racetrack, and these guys can settle the score. The 27 of Mike Washburn is finding some momentum up top. Pretty impressive. Vic Jr. is able to set his red number 4 car. He's setting sail right in the middle lane of the racetrack. That mid groove is working very well. Doug Vick Jr. is absolutely one of the very best to do it in the Arklatex, and definitely one of the best to show his patience behind the wheel of a race car. One of the best is just, I wouldn't say he has a conservative approach, but he is just smooth as silk. And I can't think of another driver who had more respect for Mr. Billy Robinson. I imagine each and every one of these competitors in this field had a ton of respect for him. But a guy who has gotten his tail whipped by the 0-1 in this class before, but I won the final race that he was involved in last Saturday with Mr. Billy Robinson, and he was running second to him, unfortunately, prior to the chain of events that occurred. I don't want to go any further. The Ford Vic Jr. is a very respectable young man, and he was more worried about the condition of the 0-1 driver last weekend. He elected to not do a post-race interview. This may help him reflect. And anyway, Mike Washburn, though, has got other plans here. Mike Washburn is disposed of Surrepta's Jeffrey Bechet, but kind of had a little bottle off the exit of turn number 2. Opens back the door for the 4 to fire into the inside of him here as 27 and 4 go side by side here for the second spot off of corner number 4. Down the front straightaway, Vic Jr. with about a half a straightaway advantage, and the 27 slipped up big there and allows Bechet to put 3 car lengths on him as they head off into turns 1 and 2. Winding down the laps, tick-tock goes the race clock. Jeffrey Bechet has turned up the wick here, but there's only 2 laps, halfway in. 50% of this one complete, and Mike Washburn just gave up the ghost at the top of turn number 3. And lime green number 4 has anything for the red number 4, Vic Jr. Vic Jr. very smooth in this race. We'll see what happens. I believe only 6 or 7 to go. We're back underway. Bechet fired it down to the inside of the 4. Vic Jr. had to get on the brakes there just a little bit. They're 3 wide there to mid-pack down the back chute. Bradley Barnes has been involved in 2 cautions in this race, has worked his way back up. Oh my goodness, contact there. The 39 got turned by the 75 of April Tuggle. Backing away, Vic Jr. out front with the race lead in the 4. Go out this time as a single file restart. We're backing away here at Boothill. Off of 2 down the back straightaway. Vic Jr. still out front with the race lead. He's ran through the middle section of the racetrack for the entirety of this one. As Vic Jr. has been challenged maybe once or twice in this race, and we got another one around at the bottom of turns 3 and 4. And oh my, Hornaday sent into promoter school. Oh my goodness. The 911 nearly brought out a... Oh, there it is. I knew we couldn't complete this race or get that. Going to go out this time by. Doug Vick Jr. back on the lap, but we're back underway here at Boothill. Shane fires one to his inside there off the exit of 2, headed down the back straightaway. Robert ran up the 3rd. Mike Wasser all the way from the tail. Several cautions to go. He'll step to the outside of the hill. Here comes the shade of the inside with the race lead. White flag waving in front of the face of Vivian Louisiana. That's Vic Jr. Final quarter-mile trip around the Boothill Speedway tonight. The shade giving us some pressure there, and around goes Robert Graham nearly. Final time in the turn number 3. The shade going to try to do his inside on the final lap, coming to the checkers. Checkers in the line, you're going to go to Vivian Louisiana. That's Vic Jr. at 4 with a 1 up out of the top of the number 4 machine tonight. Hey, let's give it up for this driver. Like I said, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you get a bunch of them. Sometimes you don't get many at all. That race just happened to be plagued with a few cautions, more than we'd like to see, but that's part of the sport. This guy still earned it no matter what. He fended off a charge from Sarepta's Jeffrey Bichet. And out of Vivian Louisiana, driving the Vic's Paint and Body Jeff Bates Performance powered number 4 to go to Doug Vick Jr. from Vivian Louisiana, your Pro Mod A-Main winner tonight. Doug, kind of told the folks that one was caution plagued, but nonetheless, you stayed out front with the race lead, and regardless of it, I know that this race means a lot to you to win tonight.
It does. I hated what happened last week. I didn't want that win at all. And tonight makes it feel a little bit better.
I kind of talked about on Race on Texas throughout the green of that race that, I don't think you elected to take an interview last weekend because your mind was definitely not in the right place, as it, I understand.
Oh, no time for one last week.
Heard that, man. How much does it mean you come back here to Boothill? I know you didn't put it too far in the past, but kind of give that tribute to Mr. Billy like that. Come out here and win this race.
It means a lot. This car came from his shop. I've got all his wheels all the way around it. It means a lot. Last week, he actually offered me to drive his if I had trouble, and that meant a lot to me, more than anything anybody else has ever said to me.
That's really cool, man. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody additional you'd like to thank tonight?
My dad, my brother, Stormy, Joe, Dakota, and Bob. We had a lot of help. Big Show. He works on it for me all the time when I'm not there.
This thing's been on kill all year long.
I love this car.
You said it's the best one you've ever driven.
It is.
Yeah. It's hard to believe, but I guess I'd have to agree with you. You're the driver. I just sit up there and talk about it. But factory. How about the factory stock tonight?
I'll start front row outside on that one. I hope we have a pretty good chance.
Maybe you can sweep it like the Texas State Championship last month.
I hope so. I don't think I've done that here.
I don't think you have either. Best of luck to you, Doug. I think you can get it done. You just have to go get it.
Thank you.
Give it up for, ladies and gentlemen, Vivian Louisiana, Doug Vick Jr. Everywhere I turn, people are like, I can't hear what you're saying. Well, oh my goodness. That was a hard hit. Hard hit. Your point leader here at Boot Hill in 2017 by a wide margin. He just got stuffed by Jesse Tate there to his inside, a pair of Ford Focuses. Lafitte in the lime green, black letter number 29 of the hub of the racetrack, back and forth. The 18-year-old Ashton Owens out of Redwater, Texas, rounds out the top 5 in car 5. Right now, the young driver out of Hooks, Texas, Luke Wheat, out front of the Hadaway towing number 32. In this race by about 5 car lengths off the exit 2, headed down the back straightaway. Two laps to go this time by for Luke Wheat. He'll be seeing the white flag in front of his face this time by. Longtime race leader Luke Wheat has not surrendered the top spot in this one. White flag this time. Wow. That's the second time that car's lost the wheel tonight, hasn't it? So it'll be a green checkered restart as the 6 of Stephen Harris lost. Luke Wheat, your longtime race leader out of Hooks, Texas, and the Hadaway towing number 32L, hasn't yet surrendered the top spot. We'll see what happens here on the restart. We're back underway here at the hill. Oh my goodness, around goes Tate, and thank goodness that car did not go upside down. Whew. And that's why I said that if I was Luke Wheat, I may be. Lights go out, ready to punch the time clock and go back to work. We're back underway. Collier broke on the restart. Your point leader here at Boot Hill in 2017, Collier, broke on the restart, and Tyler Moore has got a face full of hood. Final time off of turn number 4. Your 4-cylinder main event winner tonight going to go to Luke Wheat in 32. Hey, Taylor comes out. Overdue for a victory. Climbing out, give it up for him, Boot Hill. Well, he ain't climbed out quite yet, but give it up for Luke Wheat, driving the Hadaway towing number 32L, your 4-cylinder main event winner tonight. How about it, Luke? How old are you, bud?
12.
12 years old, race fans. Give it up for the 12-year-old Luke Wheat. I wasn't sure. I knew you were pretty young, but how about this tonight, man? A few cautions there late, but it didn't rattle you, did it?
No, sir.
Just hitting your marks out there each and every time.
Yep.
How much does this mean to win here at Boot Hill?
A lot to me and my family.
Your first ever win, too, isn't it?
Second.
Second. Did you get your first one at Texarkana?
First one's here.
Okay. You got your first one here. All right. Well, hey, how about that, man? Not too bad. Back to back for you.
Thank you.
Tell us everybody helps you out.
My my whole family, Architects, Animal Clinic, and Brandon Brown and Justin Whitehead.
Congratulations to you, youngster. Can't wait to see you back.
Thank you.
12-year-old Luke Wheat gets your 4-cylinder main event win tonight. Louisiana. And the 17 of Trouble, Sean Graham. The 96, the Styles Automotive entry out of Keithville. That's the Nightmare, Michael Knight, and the lights are out. We're underway. 20 laps of distance. It should be a good one as we head off into turn number 1 for the first time tonight. Heading off into 1 and 2, Vic Jr. Gonna set sail. And that Jeff Bates Performance powered number 4 down the back straightaway with the race lead. Heading into 3 for the first time. Oh, look out, Paul Lopez. Lopez got all kinds of cattywampus at the midpoint of the back straightaway. Gets it iron back out, heading in the right direction off of 4. Doug Vic Jr. is off front with the race lead. Vic Jr. is digging. As right now your top 3. It's Vic Jr. holding on to the top spot. A slip up by the 23 at Tupper. He broke down the back straightaway. Look out, everybody else trying to dispose of him as he goes to the top side in the 3 and 4 to get out of harm's way. Tupper going to draw the caution here early. Trying to win both of the Pro Mod and the factory stock main event. Can he get the job done? Josh Warren, fresh off a $2,500 victory 2 Saturday nights ago down at Sabine. And little John Tuggle's got something tonight. We'll see what happens as we get ready to drop the hammer. We're back on the way here at Boothill. Tuggle going to fire from the outside of row number 2. Into turn number 1. We're back on the way here at Boothill in the 1. Ryan Burke going to thread the needle in the 1 and 2 in that 4-power J27 around goes Brian Shaver in the 1 and 2. The Nightmare front wheel drive and a late model. Josh Warren out of Shreveport. Little John Tuggle in row 2. Sean Graham Lopez in row 3. Ryan Burke. Ryan's at the tail now, but we are back on the way. The 11 and 1. Here comes Josh Warren to the inside for the race lead. Josh Warren going to fire one to the inside of the 4. Vic Jr. showing some pressure as they head down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Here comes Little John. It's heating up into turn number 3. Josh Warren going to roll the hub off the exit of corner number 4, trying for the race lead of that Cadillac 62X. Down the front straightaway we go into 1. Factory stock racing about to start heating up and get to its finest here at Boot Hills. They're 3 wide down the back straightaway there. The 199 of Michael Hudson. The 96 of Knight, and the meat in the sandwich is the 68 of James Martin. Down the front straightaway, Vic Jr. trying to separate himself again as we log in 3 consecutive green flag laps. And here comes Warren trying to fire another bullet down to the bottom up the exit of 2. Headed down the back straightaway, Vic Jr. still with the race lead. Vic Jr. separates himself by 2.5 car lengths into turn number 3. Car is just rotating so well to the center of the corner. He's able to point it back down the front boulevard and set his sights back on corner number 1. But Josh Warren, who did not show his best until the final circuit on Bubba Jones down at Sabine, or Manny, Louisiana, for the Fall Southern Showdown, won $2,500 for his effort a few weeks ago. Josh Warren's got something to drift up the racetrack. And some respect there shown to the race leader, Vic Jr. He gets on the binders. Undoubtedly, Vic Jr. will have to earn this one tonight, as is the case each and every time these guys strap into the race car. Into turn number 3, Josh Warren is hoping that he gets work in there of the hub. Car is not able to really stay glued to the bottom side off the exit. You're seeing him drift up the racetrack, and he's having to get on the brakes. Ryan Burke and the 68 of Martin are coming up limp there in the middle of 3 and 4, and we get a caution. For a win, he's not out of it. Paul Lopez still back in the 5th spot. The 199 of Michael Hudson, the Nightmare Michael Knighton. So we're back underway here at Boot Hill. Josh Warren tried something there again down the back straightaway. As the caution comes. Vic Jr. trying to fend off Josh Warren, and we're back underway. Good restart. Warren on that second row. Tuggle going to keep him honest. And here comes Josh Warren back to the inside for the race lead. The 3 wide, nearly off the exit of 2 for the 4th spot down the back straightaway. Tuggle trying to fire something back to the outside. Here comes Josh Warren back to the inside for the top spot. Side by side off the exit of corner number 4. They're going to go door to door off the exit of 4 down the front straightaway. Josh Warren been so impressive in this factory stock all season long. And he's going to rock and roll to the race lead. But Vic Jr. says, I've had enough of it. Sit down and take a seat. Josh Warren says, I don't know. I can't do that for you, Doug. They'll go side by side off the exit corner number 4. Doug Vic Jr. trying to the outside. What a race shaping up here at Boot Hill. You want this one to stay green. Vic Jr. trying to keep that middle line of the racetrack working to fruition as he charges back out front by half a car length in the turn number 3. You got a great race heating up here at Boothill tonight. Showing the brakes again. Respect to the forward. Vic Jr. going back to the race lead as Vic Jr. The senior makes a Josh Warren is not yet led at the stripe. He's able to lead to the midpoint. Look out, Paul Lopez. Paul Lopez sliding it down to the infield. We're getting down to it, folks. Tick-tock goes the race clock. Gonna be 2 laps to go. I'm sorry, halfway in this time. Whew. That wasn't the case. Josh Warren making Vic Jr. earn it tonight, baby. And a 1 and 2. Josh Warren all over him. What do they say, like white on rice, whatever it is? Vic Jr. rolling like a yo-yo with no string on the outside. He keeps showing pressure to the 4. Warren does. And he's going to be worn out after this race, no pun intended. As he is giving the 4 car hell for it right now. Vic Jr., like I said earlier, all these races are always earned, never given. This would be the definition of an earned victory. And here comes Warren back to the inside of him off of 4. Back down the front boulevard into turn number 1. Great race for your top 3. Tuggle smells blood in the water. He looks to be the shark here. Sean Graham side by side here with the 199 of Hudson down the back straightaway. Mike Hudson up to the top 5 now in the 199. Pressure to the tail take of the 17 of Sean Graham. Those side by side step on the race lead off of 4. Down the front straightaway. Vic Jr. still fitting off the charge from Josh Warren from Shreveport. Warren back to his inside, trying to find some bite, trying to find some dig. Off the exit 2, headed down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3. Josh Warren still going to stay committed to the hub of the racetrack. Vic Jr. going to stay committed by the cushion and diming off the corner of corner number 4. Still out front from the 4. If you don't like what you see right now, you don't like dirt track racing. Into turn number 3 and 4. Josh Warren just hoping that he can get a little bit out front of the 4 car and nose ahead. We're heading for a checkered, for a photo finish tonight. Into turns 1 and 2. Vic Jr. not going to give up on that middle line, and he'll power down the back straightaway by half a car length as they approach the entrance of turn number 3. Vic Jr. is going to have to start slinging that baby off into 3 and 4. They're side by side for the race lead. Still race fans. What more do you want? 3 laps to go here at the hill tonight. Into 1 and 2. You got a dandy brewing. Donnie Brooks special here at Boot Hill. Down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3. Please stay green. Please stay green. Oh my goodness gracious. His cars are 1, 2, and 3 right now. Well, Josh Warren still this one away from the longtime race leader, Doug Vic Jr. We're going to find out when he dropped the hammer. We're back underway. Not quite the restart that Warren was looking for. They'll look to keep him honest here on the restart. He'll slam it back to the bottom. Tough break for Sean Graham. Back to the inside for the race lead comes Josh Warren. Warren to the inside. Here comes Tuggle. Little John Tuggle. Trying to the outside of the racetrack in the 3-4 on the restart. They're side by side for the race lead through 3 and 4. This time by, it'll be 3 laps to go. Let's settle the score. And here comes Warren. They're 2 by 2. Into turn number 1. Jody Prince up to 5th now. As Michael Hudson is throwing his hat in the ring, is coming to play in the caution waves. Bo Perry over into the deep fry 75. Ricky Thornton Jr. out of Chandler, Arizona won the 20,000 win race at Batesville Motor Speedway. As Doug Vic Jr. leading Josh Warren on the restart. We're back underway here at Boot Hill. And that's what Warren wanted to do on the restart, trying to separate himself on the 175 on the restart to go to the inside for the race lead. He'll come up a little bit short, gets a little cattywampus there. Heading down the back straight away. Mike Hudson now going to drive the 3 wide for 3rd. 3 wide for 3rd in the turn number 3. Still 3 wide. Side by side for the race lead off the exit corner number 4 for the race lead. Vic Jr. 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go into turns 1 and 2. Josh Warren going to fire another bullet down to the inside of him. Vic Jr. says sit down and take another seat. Vic Jr. looking good. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3. This time by, it'll be the white flag, and Warren going to drive it down to the bottom side of the racetrack again. All over the inside of Vic Jr. He'll smash the loud pedal at the line. Half a car length. The white flag is out. They'll steal 3 wide for 3rd into 1 and 2. Josh Warren's got it rotating around the hub. Looking for another last lap rabbit of the hat pull. Into 3 and 4 for the final time. He'll throw the slide job into 3 and 4. He'll come up short. He'll drift up the racetrack. Vic Jr. going to stay on the outside of the photo finish. Vic Jr. wins it. What a race. What a hell of a race tonight at Boot Hill. And a hell of a race at Boot Hill. Damn, what a race. So Doug Vic Jr. said he's never swept the night here at Boot Hill in his racing career. This will be the second time this season he's done this feat at 2 different racetracks. Like I said, he won the Texas State Championship, $4,000 total dollars for his effort at Billy and Kim White's Timberline Speedway last month for the Texas State Championship victory. And tonight, well, you got to earn these wins anytime, but he absolutely earned that victory. He was not going to be denied tonight, race fans. You got to give it up for him after an outstanding performance. Climbing out of the car, give it up for Vivian, Louisiana's Doug Vick Jr. in 4. Woo! How about that, Doug? That'll fire an old guy like me up. Let's get on this side of a race on these cameras. I'll tell you, man, after a race like that, you know, even a few cautions there in the late going, but the whole race, 62X Josh Warren showed you pressure on the bottom, man. You were going to stay committed to that middle line. That outside line was definitely paying dividends for you tonight.
That was the most fun I think I've ever had in a race car.
Really?
It was, I don't know, 16 laps or something. It seemed like we were side by side.
Y'all were side by side literally the entirety of that race.
I know it was a long time. I was ready for that one to be over.
Hey, what's going through your mind as a racer? Like on those restarts, you're thinking about it. Like you just got to stay committed, or are you thinking you need to change the line to get out there and protect that line, and you just know that middle lane's going to keep working out?
Mine wasn't any bottom. I tried my best to get down there, but it just skate right off of it, so I just kept doing what I was doing.
What were you thinking when Josh was pitching his car in turn number 3 down there, but kind of pushing up off of exit of 4, and he was showing some respect to you. He's hitting the brakes and letting you go right by. He's finally able to get his car to rotate off of 4. That's when I was starting to get a little worried there for you, Doug. Hey, Josh. Hey, great race, man. That was outstanding to watch. I'm gonna finish with him, but hey, that was fun.
Man, there's not a lot out here you can race like that, and I knew if I stuck it next to him, he'd give me respect like I give him respect. So, you know, I'm glad he won, and you know, we could load our cars up.
Dude, I'll tell you what. He said that was the funnest race he's probably ever been involved in. I don't know about you. You passed Bubba a few weeks ago on the last lap to win $2,500 down at Sabine. I told the fans that's why I couldn't count you out in this race.
Now, I mean, you really can't count anybody out. That's what I like about these cars is, I mean, I can win one week and not make the A the next, you know, but it's just hitting your points, hitting, you know, your setup, and you know, race with some good people like Booby.
I love to see you guys showing respect like that, man. Thanks for coming over here and interrupting this interview for a minute. Congratulations. Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Warren. Anyway, Doug, that's pretty cool, man. He comes over here. I mean, that's what this is all about, isn't it?
And always.
Man, I'll give you an opportunity to thank anybody, any additional or anything on your mind here, bud.
I thank my dad, Wayne, and I left Casey out earlier. He's been helping me. I thank him and Bob, Dakota, Joe, Big Show, all the help.
This is a night that is going to go down in history for you, your first ever 2-night sleep and 2 classes, and I know you're racing with a heavy heart tonight, my friend.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Congratulations to you, Doug. Well earned.
Thank you.
Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen, from Vivian, Louisiana, Doug Vick Jr., your factory stock and Pro Mod winner tonight. I was going to start this one from the front row tonight here at Boothill. Undoubtedly racing with a heavy heart. He wants to put this thing into victory lane and a tribute to his father. Off of turn number 4, the lights are going to go out. Punch the time clock. We're going to go to work. Off of 4, underway here at Boothill in your super late model. Great bean, sparking and arcing on the start there. Here comes John Mitchell, going to fire out of a cannon. Off of 2, down the back straight over the race lead. They're going to go side by side into 3 and 4. Go for the race lead. John Mitchell going to ride the cushion off of turn number 4 and go to the outside of the 0-1. They'll take the top spot at the line. John Mitchell goes for the race lead. B.J. Robinson going to fire it back to the hub of the racetrack and hoping that bottom line comes to fruition here. It did not work for Josh Warren in the previous race in the factory stock. Into turn number 3, B.J. Robinson going to roll the hub. John Mitchell was rolling well in the heat race earlier. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1. It's all Catman John Mitchell right now with the race lead, setting a torrid pace around the Boothill Speedway. Off the exit 2, headed down the back straightaway. John Catman Mitchell won his first ever super late model race here back on March the 17th of 2001. Has the race lead by nearly a whole straightaway into turn number 1. He says he's going to live or die by the cushion tonight. He'll grab some cush off the exit of 2 and point it down the back straightaway with a sizable advantage over the David Peterson Motorsports Black Diamond Clements Powered 01 of B.J. Robinson. B.J. Robinson now elects to go to the outside of the racetrack in the 3 and 4, followed by the 115 to Trey Bean down the front straightaway in the turn number 1. John Mitchell, fresh off a big $2,000 victory in Spring Valley, Minnesota last Saturday night at Deer Creek Speedway with the United States Modified Touring Series. It's been a stellar season for the Catman John Mitchell. As we head down into 1, B.J. Robinson holds on to the bridesmaids honor than this one. Up the 3rd is the 115 to Trey Bean. And sliding Brett Frazier through 3 and 4 is the king of Boothill, Ronnie Adams. Ronnie Adams will now go to 4th into 1 and 2. All right, for this owned by Alexandria, Louisiana's Rocket Rob Litton, the 4-time Southern Non-Professional Racing Series champion all over the roads. Spoiler of the 115 of Trey Bean into 1. Lap traffic, we're going to go come to reality in this one for the 5 of the Catman, John Mitchell, if we stay green in this one. B.J. Robinson hoping that it impedes his run right now where he can get back in there and challenge for this win. As a final race of the night here at Boothill, if you want to race the hills to place. And an absolute tail kicking right now for the 5 of the Catman, John Mitchell. John Mitchell setting a torrid pace around the Boothill Speedway tonight. But where's he going to go and where's he going to hide now? He'll split the gap down the back straightaway, disposing of the 91 of Donald Watson. My goodness gracious. John Mitchell driving with reckless abandon tonight. He'll slide 2 lap cars, put 2 in between himself and the 0-1 of B.J. Robinson as we continue to run this race. Green flag, no cautions to this point. Down the back straightaway, Donald Watson is going to fire the 91, it appears. As we head off in the 3, John Mitchell is absolutely annihilating the cushion at Boothill tonight. Looks like a driver who is happy to be back in his super late model. B.J. Robinson not able to pick up enough fight and pull back to the 5 of John Mitchell. He's going to need a caution to save him. He will need a caution. We're 50% complete. We got 50% more to go. And Mitchell is now disposed of half of his competition. As he puts the 2 of Wilkins down a lap, and he'll set his sights now on the 6S that KP Kyle plays on. John Mitchell just absolutely setting a torrid pace around the hill. He has a little bit of he has a comfortable advantage now, and he has a little bit of room here to breathe as lap traffic not too thick up in front of him, but he's got a pair of good aces. Not sure what's up with Brett Frazier tonight, but the Jet, who finished 3rd here with the Cotcam Super Dirt Series on our last Super Late Model event, is in jeopardy of going a lap down in this one here on a non-sanctioned Super Late Model Saturday night main event. As Brett Frazier is going to get disposed of here and perhaps go down a lap. He's in that Trek Start chassis number 1, Tri-State Magneto entry. The Catman, no rabbits out of the hat, and the caution flag will wave. Caution will wave here at the hill. John Mitchell fires on the restart. We're back underway here at the hill. Back underway into 1 and 2. B.J. Robinson going to set it sail on the outside of the racetrack and smash the loud pedal down the back boulevard. How about this? Kyle Plaisant fires well on the restart. He'll go to the inside of the 6X of Litton for 3rd. KP is hooked up around the hub now. He was a lap car a few moments ago, or was looking to be. John Mitchell was nearly reeling him in there. I don't know what John has done or what he's done to hit the setup tonight, but boy, he is on another planet. And another zip code is car 5. And sliding B.J. Robinson for 2nd is Litton. Litton will slide B.J. And B.J. gets into his tail tank down the front straightaway into 1. B.J. may not like that too much. Off the exit of 2 down the back straightaway, they go side by side here at the midpoint of the back straightaway. The 0-1 of the 6X are absolutely going at it. They're door to door here for 4th and 5th as well. Litton going to hammer the cushion off of 4, look to grab it down the front straightaway. B.J. can't keep him honest enough, and he'll fade to 3rd. B.J. to 3rd now in 0-1. Now, I thought that initial start of this race, the outside pole position of that outside line was going to really work to the advantage of the 5 of the Catman, John Mitchell. That outside line just fires so well. We started that previous factory stock race with Doug Vick Jr., who was more so running the middle of the racetrack. Mitchell is way up top where Grandpa keeps the good bourbon. Nonetheless, you can't say enough about the performance that B.J. Robinson had here earlier tonight in his heat race. All these race fans get up on their feet and cheering him on in respects to the late great legend Billy Robinson Sr. As Billy Robinson Jr. continues to ride 3rd in this one, as Ronnie Adams trying to reel him in and working for 3rd. Litton up to 2nd, who's had some back-to-back stellar runs here at the Boothill, as the Catman John Mitchell continues to set a blistering pace out front in this one. Tick-tock goes the race clock. The center of the hourglass is running out for the rest of the competitors. John Mitchell is going to throw the keys on the counter with 2 laps to go. The driver of the Dowden Logging, WW Timber, Healthcare Express, Kaiser Manufacturing, Integra Shocks and Springs, Kennesaw Performance number 5 heads down the back straightaway, 1.5 laps to go for the Texarkana Ace. But like I said a moment ago, fresh off a $2,000 non-qualifier victory in Spring Valley, Minnesota last Saturday night. The white flag is out for the Catman. Final trip around the quarter mile over here, right here off of exit 3 in Greenwood, Louisiana tonight. Here on RaceOnTexas.com, down the back straightaway into turn number 3 for the final time. In respect to the late great Billy Robinson, raises over $700-something for his good friend BJ, but going to victory lane to the Catman, John Mitchell tonight here at Boot Hill. John Mitchell was stellar in this one. Rocket Rob Litton will grab second from Alexandria. BJ Robinson will come home third. Well, there's nothing else to really say other than John Mitchell just put down a stellar performance here at Boot Hill. And I tell you what, it was John and Kimberly's idea, his fiance, to kind of put their heads together here to raise some money for the Robinson family. I thank all of you race fans, as they passed the helmet earlier, raised $754.62. Thank y'all so much. But if you can't hang out, y'all please give this driver a big round of applause. I said it several times tonight. Won his first ever super late model race here back on March 17th of 2001. He'll be back in Victory Lane 16 years after the date. It's the Catman, John Mitchell, in ABC Auto Parts Victory Lane. John, I'll get you on the front side of the race car here for the Race on Texas cameras. We'll talk about this one real quick. You know, all the way up in Spring Valley, Minnesota, racing the modified last weekend and got you a nice $2,000 victory there to close out the weekend. But you come back home here, the place you won your first ever late model race at back in March 2001. I know you had some things on your mind too tonight, man, racing up front there with BJ early in this one, I imagine.
Yeah, there's a lot of emotions here tonight. Yeah, we had a pretty decent car here. BJ was real good in that heat race. I knew he was going to be our big competition, but everything worked out there.
Did you adjust on the car any after the heat?
We worked on it a little bit, and we didn't get too far out of whack with it, but racetrack stayed pretty good tonight.
Man, I have to think from your vantage point, from where I was sitting, you were getting around this racetrack in a torrid pace tonight, man. I mean, I tell you, you had a whole straightaway. You lapped all the way up to 4th place at one time. You're working on Kyle Plazon, who was sitting at 3rd at one point. An impressive run here tonight for you, John. I mean, it had to be feeling really good for you.
Yeah, it's a Black Diamond chassis. We've been tweaking on it, getting better and better every week. So, I don't know, getting my head together and trying to get to the front.
What's to come for you, John, for the rest of the 2017 season? You going to run the mod anymore, or what are your plans?
Yeah, Gumbo Nationals next week at Greenville, Mississippi. We'll be up there with a mod and a late model, I think.
Any night, were you planning on running both on the same night, or is it just too much work?
I think we'll do it both next night, maybe.
Well, man, I'll give you an opportunity to thank each and every anybody that helps you out in this race car, man.
Yeah, W&W Timber, Billy White right here, man. Without him, we couldn't do this. Healthcare Express, Murphy & Son Timber, Kaiser Manufacturing, Integra Shocks, Black Diamond Chassis, man, Custom Graphics. There's a lot of guys that help us do this.
Stellar performance for you tonight, John. I know it's been a pretty good year. Nice to cap off another one here at the Hill tonight, man.
Yep, thanks, bud.
Absolutely. Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen, out of Texarkana. If y'all are headed out, thank y'all so much. Give it up for the Catman, John Mitchell, your super dirt late model winner tonight here at Boot Hill.